I am nitrogen gas, also known as N2. I am the most abundant gas in Earth's atmosphere, with making up 78.1% of its volume. This is where I start my journey. Uh-oh, it looks like it's about to rain. As the rainwater mixes with the nitrogen gas, it'll dissolve, and as the nitrogen gas dissolves, it falls to the Earth. As the nitrogen gas falls to the Earth and lands into our ocean, it gets fixed by microorganisms called diazotropes. From here, they will be turned into ammonia. So now the nitrogen is now called ammonia, or NH3. Now, you may think that this is the end of the road for the ammonium, but you'd be wrong. As the ammonium floats in the ocean, it is taken up by phytoplankton, which consume it. As for the microscopic plants that cannot eat the ammonium, there are bacteria that take the ammonium and add oxygen to it, which creates first nitrate and then nitrate. This process is called nitrification. Now, those plankton that we mentioned before can eat the nitrate. Larger animals, such as whales or fish, will eat these phytoplankton that have eaten the nitrate. But unfortunately, as life goes, the whales and the fish and the plankton will eventually die and sink to the bottom of the ocean, where bacteria will decompose the bodies and turn them back into ammonium, which will be a continued use in the nitrogen cycle in the ocean. Usually the nitrogen cycle is able to function well without any interference, and is able to sustain the life in the ocean and on land. However, human interference has made it hard for nature to correctly sustain or manage the large amount of nitrogen that's been released into the air. These are emissions that usually come from factories, trains, planes, cars, and even fertilizer made specifically to help with farmers' crops. However, this extra nitrogen can get into the soil or into underground water and runoff, and it can get into the ocean. As a result of this, large algae blooms can form due to the excess amount of nitrogen. This is bad because it can decrease the oxygen in the water when the algae dies, and that in turn causes the death of many fish and other species that rely on the fish for food.